everyone, welcome to 74 in 74, where we dedicate 74 seconds to tell you what's coming up in Studio 74. We're joined by a very special guest, Colm Forde from DocnRoll Festival, who are going to be bringing a selection of amazing DocnRoll Festival films to Studio 74 in November. Hi Colm, can you tell us a bit about DocnRoll Film Festival?
Yeah, I'm the programmer at DocnRoll. We've been up and running for about 7 years. We started out in London and now we're screening across 12 regional cities as well. Each November we have a 2-week festival in London with approximately 30 premier music docs of all genres, and then we take a best of the fest selection across the regions. And this year we're actually doing it simultaneously in November across 11 UK cities, including Exeter.
We're screening, I think, 4 or 5 films here in Exeter. What could you tell our audience who are very into their music docs and their live music? What would you recommend?
Lydia Lunch film is quite an impressive, short and sweet documentary about a woman who's come up in the degradation of New York City in the late 70s, early 80s. She came up amongst Sonic Youth and the no-wave scene. And she's been ranting and raging about the patriarchy and Reagan era and everything that came out of that. So, you know, any fans of Thatcher would be quite happy with that and be able to connect with what has come out of that 40 years later and the destruction of social society across New York and the UK in general. It's quite a spicy film, to say the least, so you can check that out. We've got The Nowhere Inn, St. Vincent kind of mockumentary, which is a fantastic film. About Annie Clark and her friend from Theatre Kinney, Carrie Brownstein, who's also a filmmaker. It's basically a drama about making music doc about Annie and the trials and tribulations between 2 friends and what goes kind of right and wrong in the process. Quite Lynchy.
It's really stylish, this one. Just from
it's very, very reminiscent of Lynch at his best in terms of weirdo-ness. And then I'm a big fan of Left of Field, House and Techno. Matthew Herbert was on my radar way back in the day, about 20 odd years ago. Since then, he's kind of steered away from the dance floor in the last 15 years and started to make a lot of kind of political orientated films out of sound bites of life in general and nature. And this film is called Symphony and Noise, where he has interacted and collaborated with a lot of symphonies around the world to change people's perception of music and to bring it to the forefront of their mind rather than something being in the background. It's quite a political, interesting view of electronic music and the crossover with classic. And then finally, Talk in a Silent Way is a very long overdue film about the fantastic band Talk, who were always camera shy and publicity shy, particularly when they started to break in the mid-80s. They kind of ran away from any type of publicity. And this is an exploration of their key albums and how they were made at the time. And it's called In a Silent Ways because the music was never licensed and was impossible to license from that. So it's an exploration with the producers of the main albums and the key players involved in that.
That's a great lineup, something for everyone. I think that's really going to appeal to our live music audience as well as our cinema audience.
Hopefully it's only a snapshot of what we've got. We'll hopefully be back in town in Exeter and across the regions from April, May next year as well.
You will. We'll make space for you. We always will. Thank you so much for your time, Colm.